Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some more Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. Today I want to talk about Keeanu Benton and take a longer view, include a clip from the Bills game, the wildcard loss, but to look at his season in a larger picture. I did a video on him in Week 1, the 49ers game you see on the screen right now, talking about that club swim move that he had that worked so well. It continued throughout the season, was certainly his go-to move, and while he didn't have incredible sack numbers, the pressure numbers were there, and this dude was so close to getting 5-6 sacks. If a half second, that ball would have been held on to longer. And so let's just kind of go through relatively quickly this club swim move for Keeanu Benton that is super effective. Before we start, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Would really appreciate that. So let's go through Keeanu Benton's club swim. And basically the keys are he's going to club and punch with his inside hand, swim over with his outside hand coming across the lineman's body, and then get his hips vertical, get skinny, and then go upfield and attack the quarterback. So these are the clips we showed against the 49ers, but that was way back in Week 1, so it's been a hot minute, and there's Benton at nose tackle over the center with a really strong club swim to get pressure when the quarterback hit on the 49ers' Brock Purdy to slow things down here, and then we'll go through things a bit more rapid as you guys get the idea. But against the center here, going to club right here with this, inside right hand, the strong punch here into the side, into the shoulder of the center to get him to kind of turn his hips and he can't slide laterally, and then swim over with this outside left hand coming across right there. We'll kind of slow things down, and then as he's swimming over, he's getting his hips vertical and getting upfield. Tough to do, and this is like very Carl Dunbar, teaching it to perfection. Really cool to see, and then he gets upfield and forces the ball out on Brock Purdy, and Peterson almost comes up with the interception, but is unable to make the play. Short time later against the 49ers, and here is Benton as the shade. In the previous clip, he was head up on the center, the zero tech. Now he's aligned as the one, but same move and a similar result. Now the club here in this example is less of a punch and almost kind of used as leverage to swim over the left guard. Eyes on number 65 here, just kind of allowing him to hold that left guard in place. But to break things down, you're going to club and have that right hand. It can be outside, I guess, technically, depending on the shade and where you're rushing from. I called it inside before, but it's always the right hand for Benton that's doing the actual club, and then the left hand's going to swim over the top, and then again, get vertical, get your hips upfield, and then make your way to the quarterback and forces this ball out. And I called this a pressure. It's kind of close to, borderline. Is this a pressure? Not because the ball was coming out. That doesn't really matter as much, but looking at it from this other end zone view, there's Keeanu Benton on 65. And again, that right hand to kind of, make sure the guard can't slide laterally. If you can punch and kind of turn his shoulders and stun him, that helps as well. And then the arm over right here with this left hand coming across the body, probably grabbing the left guard a bit too. They're never going to call this kind of thing, or very, very rarely will they call it, and allow you to hold that guard in place as you swim over. And then the athleticism, the bend that he has here to get vertical and get kind of skinny. You see the hip and ankle flexion. Really impressive for a guy of his size and stature to get to Brock Purdy. Benton only had one sack the entire season, and this is it here in week number 3 against the Raiders. But again, sacks don't tell the entire story. They're important. You go back to the TJ Watt, Myles Garrett debate, but there is a pressure rate. There is some other, things to look at than just the pure sack number. And again, had quarterbacks been holding onto the ball for, a quarter second longer, this dude would have had 5 sacks this year off of this club swim move. But here's the actual sack here, nose tackle, slight shade on the center, but essentially head up, and just a really great timing here. The center a bit slow, but same thing, punching with that right hand and then swimming over, bringing that arm over, that left arm and hand here, right there to swim over, and then again, getting his hips vertical and getting upfield. Really impressive here. That center has no chance, and the sack on Jimmy Garoppolo. We'll take a look at it from the other view. Again, Benton right here. There's the punch, and great, timing off the ball too. So the punch here with the right hand, arm over the center. Again, really athletic move here. Make way to the quarterback and finish the play. Week 7 against the LA Rams, and hello, old friend, Kevin Dotson at his rightful spot of right guard, number 69, and Keeanu Benton, the 3 tech. So we've seen him as the 1 tech, as the 0 tech, and now the 3 tech using the same move. Again, punch with that inside hand, the right hand. It's always the right hand, whether it's inside, outside, depending on his alignment and which side, which direction he's rushing, and then arm over with the left hand. And then, get skinny, and with the center slatting away, you have a big gap here for Benton to be able to beat Dotson and make his way to Matthew Stafford, force the pressure, and force the incompletion. So, again, sacks are critical. I don't want to overlook them. They are, negative plays, the sack, the lost yardage, the down, compared to the incompletion. There is no comparison, but the pressure can certainly create sacks for others, as we'll see later in this video, or just negative plays overall for the offense. And so just a great quick move, boom with the right hand, and then arm over, make way to the quarterback. It's really one fluid motion, and Dotson finds out the hard way what that Benton club swim looks like. Week 8 against Jacksonville, ugly loss overall, but a nice rep here. And again, pressure doesn't always lead to sacks, but it can lead to really impactful and positive plays for the Steelers defense. In this case, a red zone, end zone interception for DeMonte Casey, who probably should have not have tried to take that ball out of the end zone, but putting that aside, same move, although a slight difference here. Watch Keeanu Benton, the nose tackle, head up over the center, really using the club swim as a counter. Usually it was his go-to move. In this case, he's trying to more or less bull the center back. It fails, and so he's then going to go to the club swim. So there's the club right there, and then he never gets that arm fully over, but he's still able to get his hips skinny and get vertical and then shed the center as he can't hold on any longer. Trevor Lawrence has to drift. He's under siege, throws up a duck in the end zone, and Casey picks it off. So a slight variation here, and we'll look at it from the other view here in just 1 second whenever it clips through. He started with the bull, which has not been super effective. The thing he'll have to do is he has to work on his bull rush and create more power. If he can do that, then he's going to make this move even more effective because guys can sit on this move. Actually, I don't know if we have the other angle from this particular film cut up that I have, but we'll just go ahead and watch it through just the same. So again, starts with the bull. It doesn't really work. That center's kind of hop-stepping back and able to stall this out. And so he uses that club swim as the counter right there. There's the punch. And then again, can't really, might be grabbing. I'm not entirely sure why he couldn't get his arm over. But again, getting skinny and getting vertical, really impressive job here. Lawrence under pressure, panics, throws this one up, and Casey picks it off. So little difference there. Wasn't his initial move, but then went to the old reliable club swim to get the pressure and create the pick. Week 9, Thursday night game against the Tennessee Titans. Here is Benton as the 3 tech. He's going to slant down here into the A-gap and not quite initially use the club swim on the center, but pretty quickly do so. And I just love watching him get skinny on this play. Again, gets the pressure, does not get the sack. It goes to Highsmith, but you're making an impact. So while it's not going to be really on the stat sheet that you get the pressure, it's in our charting. Go back and look it up, and you see the impact that he has. So again, just watching him. Now, I know the guard, Skoronski, is sliding away. He's got the drag hand. This is the drag hand, the backside hand. So he's not really like focusing in on blocking Benton, but still, he's an obstacle. It's not just a 1v1 kind of a two-way go situation for Benton, but again, able to use that club hand, that right hand, to help turn that shoulder, make sure the center can't slide here. And then you see the left hand here, the white glove, swim over the top. And then look how skinny, there is no space there. This dude is 320-something pounds, and he is getting skinny like a 180-pound running back through the hole. And again, Skoronski's got his eyes away, but there is no room there at all. And he just muscles his way through. And again, you see the athleticism he has. It's really impressive. He's strong, but he's so flexible, and his ankles and his hips are so good. They remind me so much of Stephon Tuitt. The body type's a bit different. Benton's not quite as fluid as a runner in space, but he's really athletic overall. But the hips remind me exactly of Stephon Tuitt, who could do very similar things. But again, pressure, flushing Will Levis to his left here into Highsmith. Highsmith gets the sack, but Benton made the play and it's a big stop, big play here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another example here, I'll try to go through things a bit quicker because I think you get the picture, but I'm nothing if not thorough, and I went through all his pressures, and so we're going to watch them together. And if you're just, a junkie for this stuff like I am, then hopefully you enjoy it. But here is Benton, kind of a shade here between the center and the left guard. Skoronski, the rookie, 1v1, club swim, beats Skoronski clean, forces that pressure. Another rush gets home. This one, unfortunately, complete downfield. That's Ogunjobi getting the pressure as well, but watching Keeanu Benton, really violent punch here on Skoronski, brings that arm over, gets to the quarterback. Same thing here against Green Bay. Here is Keeanu Benton working in Pittsburgh's nickel defense, the 2-down linemen, 4 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs, mostly off screen. And so again, watching him a little quicker here, it's not as pronounced. Sometimes that club swim is like super pronounced where it's club and then he kind of takes a step and you kind of really see it almost frame by frame. Here it's a lot more fluid. Not sure if that's just, how well he can pull it off or just how his punch is, how it lands, but watching him slant here down, we're going to see the club swim in pretty fluid succession. And so once Jordan Love decides to snap the football, so again, the club camera kind of gets in the way here, but club swim, and then again, getting skinny, some of that flexion to kind of basically rip through this and turn and flatten. You don't see a lot of guys who can do that. The pressure forces the incompletion and nearly picked off again by DeMonte Casey in the end zone. Let's go back to the this view one time, a little cleaner, potentially on the center. Club over, get skinny, turn the corner, get the pressure, make the play. Benton still part of the Steelers' nickel package. The one tech here, the shade between left guard and center. And again, same thing, club swim on that left guard. Great punch to stun that guard, get him to be knocked off base, kind of open up his hips here a little bit, not stay square to the block so he can't stay in front as easily. Great punch right there. I mean, really just taking it to him. Kind of like the old Deacon Jones head slap without actually the helmet connection there, but really good club move. Doesn't even actually have to bring his arm over at this point. Has a free pass to Jake Browning, who has to check it down for a very short gain on first down. Let's see if we can get the other view here. We'll watch that one time. Again, eyes on Benton. Again, 67, the left guard. Week 17 at Seattle. Now Pittsburgh in their base defense. They're 3-4. Benton the nose tackle. Head up, the zero tech on the center. And again, same move, club swim, his go-to by far. I want to see him add a bit more to his arsenal, but this move is a great burst move to a go-to move in those crucial situations, and especially when you're playing, if you're playing Baltimore for the second time or a divisional opponent, they're going to have the book on him, and teams are going to scout him. He's going to have to adjust to things. Teams started to really adjust to Alex Highsmith's inside spin. He was less successful with it this year than last after that big breakout campaign, so he'll have to add things. But when you're playing Seattle on the road, team that's doesn't know Pittsburgh that well, isn't studying, isn't hearing about what's happening in Pittsburgh all that often, you can pull these moves off easier for sure. And again, really effective here in the center. I mean, this is just a TKO type of rep here on that club right there, just to push him out of the way, that strength that he has. Again, barely has to even actually execute the over. It's a 1v1 block here with the guard sliding away, the center taking him 1v1, and then barreling down on Geno Smith, and then Cam Hayward gets a hand on the football. So good D-line play overall. Benton with the pressure, Hayward with the bat forces the incompletion. Which brings us to the Buffalo game, finally getting to the most recent game. Unfortunately, the loss, but Keeanu Benton working on the right guard early here in this one, and again, the move works overall. So here is Benton, the shade between center and right guard. And again, this one is a little less, clear. It's maybe maybe it's a different move, but I still would call this kind of the same principle. Clubbing here with this right hand, and then being able to get skinny. Again, getting his hips vertical, really impressive. Never really brings that arm over the top, but is able to get through the lane with the center sliding away. So it just enables more space, more room for him to navigate, and the right guard cannot stay square and stay in front of the block here. Just really nice job attacking half man. Didn't mention that, when you're doing this club move, you're not attacking down the middle of the lineman. You're attacking a half of him. It's easier to attack a half, inside shade, outside shade, or inside half, outside half, as opposed to straight down the middle. especially when your power is not Cam Hayward or when he's not injured the way that he was this year. His long arm stab, his bull rush. You can attack down the middle because it's a bull rush, but here when you're doing more finesse type moves, you don't want to attack directly down the numbers of the linemen. And again, the club aiming point being on that shoulder pad, and then again getting the pressure, forcing the ball out underneath, and Minkah Fitzpatrick there for the breakup. And was this on third down? I don't know if I can tell if this was third down or not. We see the markers. Yep, it's right there. There's the number 3. And so Pittsburgh getting the stop here, in part due to the pressure created by Benton. Again, right here on 64. The rookie, Torrance, the pressure's there, incompletion made. So to recap, I charted Keeanu Benton. I personally chart the Steelers defense for every game, for every snap for about the last decade. And including this playoff game, I charted Benton for 19 pressures this year. Just 1 sack, but 19 pressures overall is a solid number considering the limited snaps he played, rotational snaps he played, being in base, quite a bit, not playing as much in sub package, especially once Cam Hayward came back healthy. So 19 pressures. Of those 19 pressures, 11 of them he used this club swim move. That's almost 60% of his pressures came off of one move, and it is certainly a potent one. Again, he'll have to add to his arsenal. Teams are going to sit on this. Teams are going to, scout him better and understand what his game plan is. Linemen will begin to figure this out. And at times they did this year. There were times where he tried this move, and you could tell the guard or the center was ready for it, and it stalled out and really had no counter off of that because you're clubbing, you're kind of exposing your chest, and you can lose it if you can't execute this move quickly. So the bull rush has to be better. He's got to get more powerful. The Raiders game, I think he had one good bull rush, but it wasn't that strong overall in terms of the arsenal moves. It's kind of like a pitcher, and I'm rambling, but it's kind of like a pitcher. He gets a really strong fastball or cutter, but you need something to play off of it to change speeds and eye levels and something else. Only need 2 good moves. James Harrison had 2 moves. He had his dip and rip. He had his speed bowl. Dwight Freeney had the outside speed rush and the inside spin. Cam Hayward has kind of a push pull and then his long arm stab, an occasional rip. You don't have to have 27 moves, but you can have a good counter off this club swim. It'll make that fastball even more effective. You can win in different ways. And Benton could be a really, really dominant player. I'm super excited for his rookie year. Just a really strong year overall. The run defense got better. His coordination got better. His leverage got better. His effort of the football is fantastic. So excited about this guy. But yeah, that club swim already one of the better moves on this team. I think it's probably, when healthy, Hayward's one arm stab, long arm stab is probably the best move. Highsmith's inside spin. I take that back. Highsmith's inside spin, probably the best individual move on this team. And then probably right behind that is the long arm of Hayward, the dip and rip from TJ Watt. And then you see the Keeanu Benton club over, which is right up there. And as a rookie, it'll probably get better over time, although it looks pretty darn good to me. So, no, it's a long video. I'll probably have a tweet pinned at some point here in the video. I'll probably do a cut-up of each individual rush together, so if you just want to see them all together, easier for me to do that in tweet form than it is to do so in video form. But hopefully you guys get an idea of the impact Keeanu Benton had. Again, just 1 sack, but you saw how close he was, how pressure impacted the ball coming out, how that created defensive splash plays for Pittsburgh's defense. So 1 sack, you might say, doesn't look that great. But look at the tape, look at the numbers, the production beyond the sacks. It's really impressive. I'm excited about Keeanu Benton in 2024. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. Again, please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Although Pittsburgh season is over, ton more videos coming. I already know my next one. It'll focus on the Bills game, kind of focus on a philosophical standpoint about offensive coordinator and play calling and sequencing of plays. So get ready for that. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.